What is the difference between raising your voice and yelling? Raising your voice and yelling have one thing in common. It's when you are talking louder than you normally do. But the difference lies in the intent, where when you're raising your voice, you're not furious. Or with yelling, you are furious. When you're raising your voice, you may be agitated. Maybe you're getting tired of being cut off so much, so you are speaking louder than you're normally used to speaking. But you're not furious. When you're yelling at someone, you typically are furious at them. So that's where the difference lies. Now, the question is, should you raise your voice at others? I think yes. I think the more of a leadership role that you are picking up, the more that you need to practice raising your voice without sounding like an enemy to them. You need to be able to raise your voice in a way where it simply seems like an extension of your personality. You see, I just raised my voice, but I hopefully did not sound like your enemy. Do not assume that raising your voice can only be done in a negative way. Because if that's what you think, then it's going to cause you to have a very nasty tonality. It's very similar to you thinking the only way you could turn down an event is by being rude. If you think that's the case, then whenever you're turning down an event, you're going to have this nasty tone like, no, I'm good. Versus if you think, no, you could turn down events in a very polite way, then someone invites you to an event, you'll have this friendly tonality where you're like, I really wish I could make it, bro, but unfortunately I can't come to this one. The next one, I'll definitely be there. See, you turned down the event, but you did not create an enemy in the process. It's the same thing with raising your voice. There's going to be times when you do have to raise your voice. Multiple people are talking at the same time, and they desperately need a leader. You have to serve as that leadership role. So that's when you raise your voice. The more that you practice, the more that it sounds warm and charismatic rather than harsh and abrasive. Yelling, is that ever required, or should you ever do it? I know a lot of these mental health experts nowadays vilify yelling. And they're like, no, you should never yell. Just use your words. When you're yelling at someone, you're really opening up their trauma wounds, blah, blah, blah. I'm not the biggest fan of that perspective. I think there is a time and place to yell. You don't always want to yell at someone, but absolutely, there is a time and place. Recently, there was this situation where I ended up getting a lot of money from this one place where I publish books. Finally, I got the money because for the past 2 years, they owed me this money, but they just wouldn't give it to me. They kept giving me the runaround, transferring me to one team after another. I would constantly just hit them up. They had to reopen tickets. It was a big mess. So much time was being wasted. And one day, I just yelled at them. I was like, man, you're wasting so much of my time. What is going on? You guys are a Fortune 500 company, and you guys are disrespecting the authors. I'm just letting them have it. And it wasn't done. Even on emails, your boy did all caps locks, man. Exclamation points. I was yelling at them via the email. Now, this was a risky move because they could have easily have been like, you know what? We don't want to work with you anymore. But instead, what happened was 2 days goes on by and the executive team hits me up. The executive team is like, it has been brought to our attention that something very bad is happening to you. And unfortunately, it's not only happening to you, it's actually happening to a bunch of other authors. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. We are actively working on it. I thought, oh, wow, the executive team. It only took so freaking long. Now, it took so long because I was being civil for so long. I was saying, okay, well, sounds good. All right, well, get back to me whenever you can. They forgot. They were being annoying. So when the executive team got involved, a big reason for that was because of the yelling. It is a risky move, though, because it doesn't matter how true your message is. It doesn't matter how justified you are to yell. With certain people, if you yell at them, it is going to open up trauma wounds. Maybe when they were a kid, they got yelled at, they felt very defenseless. And now as a 35-year-old man, when they're getting yelled at, they get transported back to their 5-year-old self. So it doesn't matter how true and honest your opinion of them is. It's like if you yell at them, they are going to shut down. So it's a risky move. You definitely want to watch out for it.